Welcome to the Mr. Liquidwood Show with your host, Aaron, founder of California Deluxe Windows on AM 870, The Answer, where Aaron talks about current events and insights on daily living. And now here's Aaron, Mr. Liquidwood himself.
Thank you, Roland. Thank you so much. And especially great big thanks to all our listeners, because you cannot imagine how grateful I am for you tuning in and listening, and especially for those people who call me and leave messages and write. I have to tell you, when I listen to some of the messages, it warms my heart. No, I should say, when I listen to them, all of the messages, it warms my heart. But some of them are so deep and so nice and so warm and so encouraging that, again, if you hear it today, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, what incredible week it has been. It's a lot of news, a lot of things happening. And of course, you know my format. I am talking about California Deluxe Windows that I founded. And my number, of course, it's 818-349-5566. And anybody who wants to call, ask me any questions, please do so. Okay, a lot of you asked me this week, maybe just not to talk about Windows as much and talk a little bit more about current events, because you wanted to hear what is my experience and what my opinion is about it. So here we go. Today, I will tell you a very, very, very long story about California Deluxe Windows. We are running on all 12 cylinders. We are so busy, and we have a lot of great projects. Thank you. This is all about California Deluxe Windows. Now, I don't know if it will come out as a joke, but I really am affected today by how many different things happening in the world, how many different things happening to us here in our greatest, freest country on earth. And I want to address some people that I hear on different broadcasts talking about things that, you know, it's not our fight. We don't have to go back to Iraq. We don't have to fight in Afghanistan. We don't have to be involved in Syria. We don't have to be involved in Netherlands. Forget about this. Nothing happens in Netherlands. So the thing is that we do not have to participate in any of those events around the world. And it reminded me about my childhood story. Well, not childhood. I was on a college wrestling team, Greco-Roman wrestling. For most of you, you probably don't know. It's not WWE wrestling. It's a real historical 3,000 years old Olympic sport, Greco-Roman wrestling, where you only upper body works. You're not allowed to make any moves with your legs. And it makes you very strong, and it's really great sport. And it's you against somebody, and you cannot blame your other teammates or anybody. Either you do it and you win, or you don't, and that's all on you. So we had a very close team, and we were a winning team, and I was pretty good in what I was doing. However, I was tiny. I was 117 pounds at that time. Really, really very, very lightweight. Lucky for me, for some reason, our heavyweight, who was a champion, was very big and strong, liked me. I don't know why, but he really liked me. And so what happened is that any place we would go, and we usually go 3, 4, 5, 7 members of the team, and you know, because you in sports, you don't party as much, you don't drink as much, absolutely no drugs and all that. So of course, people challenged us all the time. And since I was tiny and smallest, I got the wrath of, most of the people wanted to start with me. So what happened was that my friend, heavyweight, would come up and just stand next to me. Did not say anything, did not do anything, just stood there next to me. And all these people who wanted to punch me in the face had a second thought. And I thought, this is a perfect correlation to what's happening with the United States of America. You know what? There is a lot of weak or lightweight places and countries and people in the world. And you do not have to participate in every fight. You do not have to send military any place. But those people who want to attack them have to know you will if it's necessary. You just have to be there and stand there, because no matter how much distance is between you, no matter how unrelated it to you, if you're present, people will look at it and make different decisions. So I don't support our government going on television and saying, no matter what, no matter how, we are not going to fight in Syria, we're not going to fight in Iraq, we're going to move out of Afghanistan. You do all those things. Just don't announce it. Say exactly opposite. We are gonna stand by our friends and relatives and allies and everybody who needs help in this world, because we are in a position to do that. And you have to know that if you attack somebody, and you know what President Clinton said, that one of his biggest regrets while he was in power was that he did not prevent the Hutus from attacking the Tutsis in Rwanda, and 800,000 people died. Do you think if he would come out and clearly state, if you touch a hair on the head of any of the Tutsis, you will face our special forces? I have news for you. They would all run away because they know what American special forces represent. So that's why I'm saying that you don't have to do it. But all the barbarians and all the killers out there have to know there is force for good in the world. There is strong force for good, and they will be stopped if they think they can go and kill everybody indiscriminately. And God knows those barbarians kill people left and right. They don't care about if you're innocent. They don't care if you're woman or child. They kill everybody. And so for all those people who think that we can just hide under the carpet in our home and everything will be wonderful in the world, I have news for you. When they finish with those other people, when they finish with a lightweight like me on my wrestling team, they will come up to the middleweight. And if they will finish with a middleweight, they will team up and come after the heavyweight. If you don't stop them when you can, and if you don't project a strong and powerful voice for good, for peace, for freedom, but most important, for good in humans, all of us will suffer.
And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Mr. Liquid Wood Show here on AM 870, The Answer, with Aaron, founder of California Deluxe Windows. And Aaron brings up a good point. It's that for America, we're not being seen as we once were back in the 80s, where we were this superpower. We're now just looked at, for all intents and purposes, kind of like that little kid, like you were saying, when you were wrestling. We just get pushed around, unfortunately. No one seems to be taking us seriously. Why do you think that is?
I think that because what happened is, the people who now determining our policy are all thinking that if you are nice to evil person, he will be nice back in return. And I think this is a fallacy that is very, very deep, and it's really because it feels good. You basically, as a human, as a nice person, you never expect anybody to act any differently from how you act. If I look at another person, I don't assume automatically that they are crooks. I don't assume they are killers. I give them the benefit of the doubt. So people who grew up now in the last 20, 30 years, they know that we stand for good. We stand for equality. We stand for everything that is good on this planet. So we assume that if we tell enough about that to these other people, they will become like this. Hello? Did you ever read history? Do you know anything about the good, the evil, the barbarians at the gate? Do you know that those people cannot be converted to good just because you said so? It pains me to tell you that some people only understand brute force. And I know it's not right. And all the intellectuals will argue with me and tell me that I'm not understanding anything about this life and I'm not deep enough, or whatever they will tell. You know what? I have a great, great experience. I have experience in different countries, different regimes, different people. I dealt with the people on a very high position, and I dealt with people who just regular working people. And I understand that humanity is different, but there is a basic concept in humanity that proved over thousands of years this is right and this is wrong. And people who follow the concept, and I don't want to call it good and evil, although some elements of this exist too, but we have to be prepared that if we don't show our strength, not show it by killing some people, not showing by parachuting in a village in Iraq, but by projecting the power with all the Air Force, with all the Navy, with everything, and saying at the microphone, we are here for good. You're not going to overtake anybody who is our friends or allies, because if you come, you will see us. And we are strong enough to stop you, and if needs to be, destroy you.
And Aaron, you're absolutely right. And we're going to keep talking about this a little bit more after the break here on the Mr. Liquid Wood Show on AM 870, The Answer.
Hugh Hewitt for California Deluxe Windows with my buddy Aaron, the owner of the company, with a bonus for my listeners. First, tell us about your beautiful new line of windows with the unusual name.
We call it liquid wood. All old wood windows rot and warp and attract termites and need continuous maintenance. So we engineered windows made of our highest quality, most energy efficient vinyl that have the identical texture, look and feel of wood. Liquid wood, so beautiful, durable and energy advanced. And now they are on sale for KRLA listeners. So pick up your phone and call and I will give you 20% off your entire project, or we'll put new attic insulation absolutely free up to 1,000 square feet.
Doesn't every window company make their own products, Aaron?
No, they don't. Almost everyone else in Southern California is a distributor. They often grab a window from a warehouse, break open the walls, shove it in and patch things up, which is much easier way to do things, but I never have done things the easy way. At California Deluxe Windows, each window is custom made specifically for your unique home. Then they are installed using our proprietary technique that is so precise, we never break your walls. Your house could be covered in potato chips and we wouldn't break one. You will be surprised. Not only they beautiful, not only they function great, and not only they are very energy efficient and will last you lifetime, they also affordable because we are the only company that designs things, manufactures, installs, and warranties. And you know we are the only warranty on the market without a small print.
So, Aaron, I hear you're offering a special deal.
That's right. Pick up the phone right now and I will give you 20% off your entire order and 1 year free financing. But you have to call now.
Don't miss out on this great offer. Call California Deluxe Windows at 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. 877-WINDOWS. CCLB number is 774518.
And welcome back to the Mr. Liquid Wood Show with your host, Aaron, founder of California Deluxe Windows on AM 870, The Answer.
Thank you, Roland. Thank you. I am so excited. It's really amazing. I'm still as optimistic as I ever been. And no matter what happens in the world, I'm going to continue to be optimistic. But you know, sometimes the opinions that I hear on the public airwaves is mind-boggling. There's something that I was mentioning before, that the United States has to project its power because it stands for good. And you know, I have here in the studio Christy and Roland with me, and I wanted to ask Christy, you were sitting so quiet, do you think that it's right for us to have a strong military and project our power?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if what you were saying is not accurate or true, why do countries even have armies or a military force at all? If all it took was talking, and you're right, some people only understand brute force, and it's an unfortunate fact, but if all it took was talking, our armies would be made up of big-brained debaters.
Oh, that's great.
That's it. That's all it would be necessary.
You're absolutely right. That's a great point. You know, in the past, I was a friend with a Swiss army officer, and of course, I always was making jokes about him. I said, "What are you fighting with? Swiss knife?" And of course, he was very upset. And then I said, well, I'm sure you're probably fighting cockroaches, right? Because nobody else is attacking Switzerland. He said, you don't understand. We have very well equipped, very strong army. Some of the army moves on the bicycles, but it doesn't matter. We're still well trained and well equipped. And I say, for what? Who is ever going to attack Switzerland? He said, our intelligence determines that in some countries they may or may not accept Switzerland as a neutral country, and we always can be overrun by our neighbors. So yes, it is very important even for a country like Switzerland to be strong and project force. Now, on a different topic, since today I'm discussing things that happened from my childhood or past life, I have another example that I want to mention. And you know, I dated a girl before I got married, and she was executive assistant to the head of research. It's a Heller Institute research in chemistry in synthesis. And She was very bright, very interesting person. And I don't want to make a long story, just to tell you that she was telling me that she was sitting in a session with some scientists and with some of the management of this research institute, and they were discussing the new research projects that they would take on. And most of the time, the head of this institution was saying, okay, just recommend to me projects that we can get financing for. Recommend projects that we will get funds to work on. It does not matter if it's whatever it is, only if we can get funded. Why do I tell you that? Because right now, people say, and you know, during these terrible events this week, everything, our president made a speech in one of the universities, commencement speech, and he said, fight for climate change, fight for everything that you believe in. And okay, I understand his position. And then I see a newspaper in Arizona where editor says, I'm not going to print opinion of anybody who is not in agreement with climate change because its debate is already settled and all the scientists, or most of the scientists, support it. So I wanted to tell this person a couple examples from my past life. One time Khrushchev came to visit United States, and he went to these farm fields in Idaho, and he saw endless, beautifully arranged, wonderful fields where the corn grew. And because he was a lover of corn, who loved fresh, hot corn, he came into Russia, called in all the agricultural scientists and said, from now on, I don't care about anything. I don't want wheat, I don't want apples, I don't want anything, I want corn. So he and all the intelligentsia and all the academia and all the scientists and all the young pioneers and young communist members got dressed and went into different parts of Soviet Union to plant corn. Even in Latvia, they appointed one lady, her name was Anna Selitane. Why it's important? She became a spokesperson and she became absolute expert on corn.
Wow.
You know what? She never thought that the ground in Latvia is not conducive to corn. It requires certain ingredients in the ground. It requires certain climate. So I will talk about Latvia. They planted corn everywhere. They took away the land from all the farmers and farming cooperatives, and they planted everywhere corn. Would you guess what happened? Would you guess, Christy, what happened?
I'm not seeing a good result for this for some reason.
It's all died.
Right.
It didn't grow. Nothing happened. But all the scientists unanimously said that it's a perfect idea and let's do it and everything will work and we'll support it. And if God forbid at that time somebody would say, no, wait, it's not going to work. It's not right. The ingredients not right. The timing is not right. Climate is not right. You know what would happen to him? At best, he would lose his job. At worst, he would dig ditches in Siberia.
Right.
Because, and you know what, of course, God forbid, I'm not comparing anything to what's happening here, but if you do state your opinion, you may, just may, lose your job, or at least everybody will point at you and say that you cuckoo, that you uninformed, ignorant slob.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The same thing happened in China. You know, somebody reported to Mao Zedong that a little bird, sparrow, kills the crops. Attacks the crops and kills the crops. So during this Cultural Revolution, where Mao Zedong had unlimited power, he talked to some of his advisors, they brought in some scientists, and scientists concurred with him, of course they would, that you have to kill all the sparrows. So he gave permission to every child, to every adult in China, go out and kill sparrows. So which they did. They went it became national campaign to kill sparrows. They did. And you know what happened? All the caterpillars, all the worms, all the other creatures that were before eaten by sparrows came out of the ground and destroyed the crops.
Right.
So the crops were destroyed. You know what they had to do? They had to import sparrows from other countries to repopulate China with sparrows.
Wow.
Why I'm telling you all that? Because the thing is that nothing in nature is obvious. If you touch one end, the other end will change. And that's why it's not right to assume that if somebody says something, it's written in stone. Because first, scientists, just humans. If you give them funding, they will say and do whatever you ask them to do. Sure. Do you think today it's easier to get funding if you pro climate change or if you're against climate change? Now, of course, there is, like anything else in the world, there are some right things and wrong things, and everything has two sides. So there are some benefits of what people say, but not projecting for 50 or 100 years in advance and saying that's what will happen, because we sometimes don't know what happens next week. Mm-hmm. And one more thing I wanted to tell you. This week they made a huge announcement. And yes, it doesn't have to do anything with climate, but maybe with my first topic. They arrested one of the leading participants in attack in Benghazi. I heard this news. I said, great. But you know what? Call me ignorant. Call me unsophisticated. Call me uninformed. Call me even cynical. Call me John for all I care. But I cannot stop but think, does it smell that elections are coming? How come we knew all of this for a year or more than a year? And nobody, we still had the same special forces. We knew all this information for a year. And I just think that if it wouldn't be for the big stink that somebody raised in the Congress or Fox News, I don't think they would do anything like this, because they need to have some ammunition against the complaints that they didn't do anything in Benghazi. And I have to tell you, I'm all in favor of attacking all these terrorists, but I just hate that it's all done for political reason. Common sense requires, if somebody attacked American anywhere in the world, you deal with that, and these people have to be brought to justice. That would be a reasonable thing to do, regardless of any politics in it. This is a common sense. So anybody who is thinking of attacking Americans anywhere would think twice, because they know this is a great country, not only in size, not only in population, not only in technology. This is a great country because this is the only country which stands for good in the world and is in a position to do something about this. Unlike, let's say, Switzerland or Norway or other countries, they also may stand for good, but they are totally insignificant. In this world, United States matters, and people who run this country have to understand that, and I hope they do. Thank you for listening to me. Please stay interested. Please stay curious. Please stay flexible, and always stay liquid.
Wow, Aaron, you left us with a lot to think about this weekend. Thank you. And again, you've been listening to the Mr. Liquid Wood Show with your host, Aaron, founder of California Deluxe Windows. If you have a question or topic you'd like Aaron to discuss in future shows, you can email Aaron at MisterLiquidWood@cdwindows.com. That's Mr. spelled M-I-S-T-E-R, liquidwood @cdwindows.com. That's all the time we have for today, so come join us again next week, same time, same day, for the Mr. Liquid Wood Show.
Hugh Hewitt for California Deluxe Windows with my buddy Aaron, the owner of the company, with a bonus for my listeners. First, tell us about your beautiful new line of windows with the unusual name.
We call it liquid wood. All old wood windows rot and warp and attract termites and need continuous maintenance. So we engineered windows made of our highest quality, most energy-efficient vinyl that have the identical texture, look, and feel of wood. Liquid wood, so beautiful, durable, and energy advanced. And now they are on sale for KRLA listeners. So pick up your phone and call, and I will give you 20% off your entire project, or we'll put new attic insulation absolutely free up to 1,000 square feet.
Doesn't every window company make their own products, Aaron?
No, they don't. Almost everyone else in Southern California is a distributor. They often grab a window from a warehouse, break open the walls, shove it in, and patch things up, which is much easier way to do things, but I never have done things the easy way. At California Deluxe Windows, each window is custom made specifically for your unique home. Then they are installed using our proprietary technique that is so precise. we never break your walls. Your house could be covered in potato chips and we wouldn't break one. You will be surprised. Not only they beautiful, not only they function great, and not only they are very energy efficient and will last you lifetime, they also affordable because we are the only company that designs things, manufactures, installs, and warranties. And you know we are the only warranty on the market without a small print.
So, Aaron, I hear you're offering a special deal.
That's right. Pick up the phone right now and I will give you 20% off your entire order and 1 year free financing. But you have to call now.
Don't miss out on this great offer. Call California Deluxe Windows at 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. 877-WINDOWS. CCLB number is 774518.